so she wanted to stop by and get like a pizza. It was a little bit tricky because I told Kirsten she could come over.
All right. Chat should work. I've been having some technical difficulties, and I appreciate you guys coming on the comments and letting me know. So you should get the chat replay after after I go live. It's been more of a fucking headache trying to figure this thing out, but I'm slowly getting it. I'm more or less right now working and doing this at the same time. As for people not getting notifications when I come on, yeah, I don't know about that one. That I don't have anything to do with. Realistically, it should. I don't get notifications for crap for people coming that I want to watch videos for. I'm just getting the software set up, getting it to learn. Hey, how you doing? I can see this chat is working. That's good. I want to get this software set up right, so eventually I can kind of do some interviews and I don't know, just do some weird shit with it. As of right now, I'm just hanging out. Beginning of my day was pretty decent. I mean, compared to my other days. And right now, things have been... Maybe I'm just getting more tired, I don't know. Fuck. I'm just feeling mentally worse and worse and worse as my day goes. Can't see for shit. Oh, how you doing, Scott? I just installed some, the OBS software on my laptop. And for a while, for the last few streams, I wasn't getting... There's a lot of issues with it. But now it's coming on better. Now I'm getting the chat, and chat replay should work fine. All that stuff. Anyways, as I was saying, the first half of my day was better than expected. And then after the afternoon and so on started getting worse and worse and worse. Then I started getting mentally really weird. And I started getting really dizzy. I just think yesterday is catching up with me. Just catching up with me late. Not sure. Yeah. Yeah, I would like to. I can do it almost any time. I usually like to do things when I'm feeling better, but that's not really happening. So it's probably better to do some videos when I'm not feeling good. It's just hard for me to think and talk about certain stuff when I'm all fucked up. So yeah, now I've got the OBS working with the YouTube Studio. Before it wasn't working with that, and it kept on saying it was made for children, and that would screw the chat, because you can't really chat when it's made for kid. Especially the chat replay won't work. So thanks to everybody who did that. So I'm learning how to do things like this, move my dumb ass around, and, you know, do weird shit. So that's what my plan is, to kind of get some more things going with this software. So I'm working at it little by little. I've been kind of mentally unwell, so the fact that I was doing it at all was actually pretty cool. Keep on I know the sound on my laptop's pretty terrible. I might eventually just get an actual camera, you know, a good 4K camera, or even a high definition camera would be better than this. Because I know the sound is pretty terrible. But maybe that'll be one of the purchases I make this year. And I could maybe write some of it off from taxes and use it for my work as well. But I don't know, Scott. I don't know what your schedule looks like with what's going on with you. So that's why I mentioned it the other day. We could do that. Do one soon. It would be actually pretty cool to talk. It's always weird when I get a comment on another video when I'm live right now. Hold on, I just gotta find a box. Got a million boxes. Got a million boxes, but not the one I need. That'll do. I don't know, I was watching the show Dark on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen that. It's pretty fucking awesome. One of my buddies said to watch it. And it's fucking weird. Years ago, I could have never watched this show. And as fucked up as my head is, at least I'm lower on Remeron to where I can sometimes handle this bizarre shit. This box is a little fucking big for this. Let's see if I got packing paper. I do. It's called Dark. It's on Netflix. It's a beautiful show. It is so bizarre and wonderful. It took me a couple episodes, and it is a little confusing. It's actually, you can watch it. It's actually a German show. It's originally spoken in German, so you have to get, I watch it with overdubbed, which is actually really good, and it doesn't bother me at all. Or you can watch it with subtitles. But it's absolutely an amazing show. I'm only on season 2. There's 3 seasons. I think there's 30 episodes in total. It's completely bizarre. But it's, I love these kind of shows. And I don't want to say anything about it because I don't want to give anything away. My buddy didn't, and I'm glad he didn't say what the premise was. I suppose if you looked it up, they'd probably spill the premise. But that's okay. But soundtrack is amazing. Just all around a great show. It is. It is dark. And if I can handle watching it, so can everybody else. Although, I don't know if that's true. It's hard for me to get into new shows, but I've been getting into a lot of new shows. The first new show that I watched in a long time was Breaking Bad, and that gave me a new hope in newer shows, even though that wasn't new. And then I watched all the, all the other Breaking Bad branches. And then I watched Ozark, which when I started it, I was kind of like, oh man, this doesn't seem great. And I was a little disappointed. And then I'm like, well, I'll keep watching it because people said to keep watching it. And that ended up being a fantastic show. So then I was starting to watch Lost again, which I still am, but I watch it here and there. Then I'm like, I want to watch something new, and my buddy said, watch Dark. He's like, it's really bizarre, and he's like, He told me if he watches it before he goes to bed, it gives him nightmares sometimes because it's just it can be so weird, but it's excellent characters, but it can be very confusing because, well, you'll find out if you watch it. Yeah, the Ozark ending was fucking nuts. It was awesome. Man, it was awesome. They kill it every time. Yeah, exactly. Nothing does beat Breaking Bad. I honestly, after I watched Dark, it depends if my girlfriend even wants to watch Breaking Bad. But the thing is, we only get a chance to watch certain shows like a few times a week. And if we do that, we'll be watching Breaking Bad for like 3 years. So I don't know. But I'll probably rewatch it soon. But yeah, Dark. If you watch it, give it a couple episodes so you can get the feeling of the show, because it's different. It's based in Germany. The cinematography is wonderful in that show, but you have to kind of get into what it is, and then once you start getting to know what it's about, it's one of those shows. Every single episode, it's like stairs going up. Gets better and better and better. And I'm just starting season 2, and I'm on like episode 3, and it's getting a little out there. So we'll see. The first season I thought was fantastic. I actually downloaded some of the songs that I've heard on it because I liked it so much. Man, this OBS software eats my CPU. It's nuts. There's got to be some sort of setting I can change on here. But yeah, I just started it literally like 2 weeks ago, and I look forward to watching it all the time, except for the fact that it can be kind of confusing with who's who kind of thing. But it's one of those shows that it's pretty damn good, and I'll probably watch it again one day and then know more about it. Yeah. Whatever. But anyway, I gotta get some shit done over here on this computer, so guess I'll move you. Yoink. But it was weird. Once I took a nap today, I fell asleep, and usually that's pretty rare. I didn't really feel like I fell asleep, but I did fall asleep. So that's good. But it didn't make me feel any fucking better, I'll tell you that. Usually, it's like, oops. Usually I, hopefully feel better when I fall asleep. Not today. Actually, I feel just as tired as I did when I woke up. Once I'm done with the show Dark, I don't know what I'll watch. I think it's going to be one of those things where I'm just going to continue watching Lost again. Possibly redoing Breaking Bad. I don't know. I'm not sure. People keep suggesting me things, but it's hard for me to start something new. I was lucky with this show. I really didn't think I would... the first couple episodes, I wasn't sure. I'm like, it seems cool, but it just got cooler and cooler. Yeah, my head got more and more in the dumps, which is weird. I was hoping I'd just get away with it. The pressure's still in my head. But it's not burning as bad. Hope that's a good sign. I was getting the crawling and stuff, but not as bad as yesterday. I don't know what that means. It might have just been a better day. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But yesterday was rough. I mean, just the stress of driving as much as I do. I mean, people just think I'm totally healthy and fine. He drove 40 minutes, went to the dentist, then worked, then drove back home. But you don't know what it does to me. That's the fucking thing. I have to wait for a halfway decent day where I could actually force something like that. And then the aftermath of it can be excruciating. And the time I'm able to do those things is getting less and less and less. Where before I fucked up Remeron, I was able to do it a couple times a month. 2-3 times a month. Now it's like once the last time I drove that far, it's been almost a year. Hey, what's up? It goes back and forth. Honestly, it's good and bad. Like yesterday when I went out, I had to go to the dentist and work. But normally, when I work, sometimes when you go out, it makes you feel better. It's tough because when I do go out for work, it'll inevitably set me back every single time. And that sucks. But sometimes it'll make that day better. But the stress of it is it's always enough to set me back. It always hits me at some point. Just like yesterday when I went out. Actually, it was a hard day still because I'm just always set back right now. But it was a better day. And I don't think I would have had the better day if I didn't go out. I wish I could just erase the memory of being sick and just not know anything and just, But yeah, it's when if I sit home too long, I sit in my stress, my anxiety gets really bad. So I have to weigh how much is what's worse sometimes. And some people say, well, I couldn't do it. It's like sometimes I don't feel I can, but I have to. It's like I have to think about it this way. You know, if I end up alone and I have my own place to live because I wouldn't have anywhere else to go, I'd have to get a place to live. I have to pay those bills. I wish I could just work from home. But being home all the time would probably kill me too. But knowing that I could work from home, even though I partially work from home, it's good, but that's probably what keeps me alive, afloat. But in order to have the stuff to sell, I need to go out and do all the work. I have to be on my feet. I have to be vigilant. And that fucking sucks. Being in benzo and Remeron withdrawal and all this bullshit and having to go be vigilant. And I see people I know, so I'm friendly with people, and that's always fun, That's always nice to see people. Like I said before, if you can work out, more power to you. I go for a 5-minute walk 3 days in a row, and it starts to set me back big time. It just sucks. My body will not get used to anything. It's such a fucking disaster. I know once I'm off this shit. God, I hope I make it to that point without having a fucking heart attack or something. I always thought that might be my end result. Yeah, it's I can't get away from stress. I did a big overhaul. I did a big overhaul on my stress on like what, and there's no getting around it. Being as sick as I am, and realistically, it's I'm more mentally ill. I mean, when I time I taper or anything, I become physically ill as well. And I still have massive physical problems, but those physical problems don't stop me from working. It's the mental shit that really holds me back. And with that, there's nothing I can do other than just sit back and hope. I want to stop worrying, but I can't. Things have gotten so fucked up, I'm scared. The last few days I haven't worried as much. I think just because things got a little better, it's like, oh, maybe things are getting better, but things have never been this bad since the beginning. And with the pressure in my head now, it's just pushing on my skull, and it's making me feel like it's closing my eyes, and it's like, it's weird. I always keep thinking, like, what if it's like some sort of inflammation, and I'm starting to overthink again, So this is exactly what I did after benzos. That's why I ended up getting MRIs, and I got all these tests and all these doctors, rheumatologist, neurologist, regular doctor. I just went through the gamut, Heart doctor. Shit. That's my problem, is things got worse. That's why I started overly worrying now. But I have to stop. But I don't know how. And I'm in therapy too. And it still doesn't help. Because I feel like, the percentage of how many people are in this situation are like none. And I have nothing to like gauge it on. So it's like I feel completely stuck. I guess I got worried. I'm just worried because it's been 4 months and I kept getting worse. 4 months. That's never happened to me in 5.5 years. It scares me. And I keep thinking, I'm like, I'm going to just end up cracking, you know? Because as good as people say I look and how well I speak, people don't realize what I go through. They never will. Mentally, it's absolutely distressing. You know, I can be very suicidal thinking. I won't do nothing because I won't. But the shit that goes through my head and how mentally distressing it is at this point at 5.5 years, that's the thing. That's what worries me. This kind of shit worries me. It scares me. Honestly, if my anxiety was lighter and I had less worry, I know things would be easier. And I know that. But I worry, like, it's been 4 months, and how long is it going to take till I'm able to taper again? In this case, if it's so long every taper, how long will it really take me to get off this medication? It might be another 4 or 5 years. I can't be doing this for another 4 or 5 years. I can't even fucking imagine. And I wouldn't even tell people that it took me that long just to get off 1.1 milligrams of Remeron. It's because I'm so sick all the time. How am I going to keep a relationship alive? I mean, this is just nuts. If I end up alone, how am I going to function and do all that? You know? Especially when you're that stressed out, the DPDR and fog just fucking lay on thick. How am I supposed to move? And that, you know, it's shit like that. It just ruminates and ruminates. It's nuts. Some would say I'm crazy. I don't know. Maybe. I just wish I never fucked up Remeron. That just fucked everything up. Big time. Yeah, that's what everybody says. It does feel like it. And that's probably why I can feel like me inside to a point. Like when I speak, I'm still me. It's like, it's a little slower or a little different than I'd like sometimes. But I mean, realistically, I know it's there. But what I see out of my vision and what my head sees, God, I cannot wait. I mean, because it calmed down a hell of a lot in the years until I fucked up Remeron. Then it came on to this whole new hell. It's gotten a little bit better in the last week, though, finally. So I'm hoping it stays that way or keeps getting a little better. And I don't know what to do. I might just keep holding Remeron and just keep holding until I'm a little more healed. But then again, it's like I don't want to just hold if I'm not going to get much better, you know? I mean, if it's just Remeron holding me back like this now, I hate not knowing the future of this. Like, if I knew that things would just keep getting better, I'd probably just hold for a couple years. Which sounds fucking stupid, but I would like to get to the point that I was at before I fucked it all up. And that would probably take a couple years. And time fucking flies, so it wouldn't take that long. But then again, I might never even get to that point. You know, just holding. It might not be like that anymore. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Like, if I cut now, I'd feel I'd end up in a psych ward because I can barely take it. So I mean, there's got to be every time I cut before, there was a level of how I would feel to know that I could handle it if it got really hard. Well, now my tapers are like 9% or more. For the next taper is like a little more than 9%. I got to be able to have that. My glass is full, there's only so much I can do. So I need it to lower a little bit so I can, handle that. If it gets as bad as it did this taper, I know I can handle it. So I guess we'll see. But right now, we'll just have to see. Thanks for chatting, though. I appreciate it. It was good. I've been trying to get the software to run right, and it seems like it's running pretty good. I mean, I know it always supposed to get better, but for me, I never got better after I fucked up Remeron. That's why I get worried. Luckily that's different. I don't care if I die. If I die, I won't know it. I just don't want to end up in a fucking psych ward or get so debilitated that I go off the deep end and end up putting myself into a hospital like an idiot. Because sometimes it gets so bad that, there was a couple nights not even long ago, last week, that I would have put myself in a hospital. Yeah. I would worry about seizures if they cut me off of Remeron fully. But the thing is, how do you just eliminate it? You can't just stop. That's the thing. If I could just stop worrying, it would make things a lot easier. I don't know. If I had somebody that actually been through exactly what I've been through tell me, oh yeah, I fucked up my meds big time and it set me back for years, and I was in hell and I never thought I'd get better because I would cut the meds and it just kept getting worse for, before I used to cut my meds and I'd feel better within a month. Now I cut my meds and it's half a year later and I'm still struggling. I've never even heard anybody say shit like that. So it worries me. What can I say? I'm thinking about getting a new therapist. I had a decent one through BetterHelp or Health or whatever app, but it was like $300 a month. And she ended up leaving there anyway, so I couldn't even talk to her if I wanted to. But she was good. She made me feel better. She got me through this shit. Maybe I can find her online. She got me through some shit. Yeah, and I don't want to have to do it all over again. I gotta fucking taper this shit. The sad part is, before when I was tapering, the percentages were a lot lower, so I could handle it. Now they're getting bigger. Yeah. I hear ya. I'm glad to help. Always. It's a lot to deal with. I'm off this computer. I might have some stuff to back up. Nobody's dealing with something similar. Like, there's always some sort of similarity, but like being completely similar, I haven't found one. That sucks for me. That's why people are like, you can go on the Remeron forum for withdrawal, and I'm like, well, it's not even the same thing. Oh, here comes the spammers. Report. Yeah. I don't want to get to the point where I do. I mean, the mental stuff has gotten so bad from that last cut. And that the thing that bothers me the most is that it's fucking 4 months. I'm still 4 months after a taper, and things kept getting worse. And all these symptoms from my past are coming in now. It just sucks, man. It just sucks. I've worked so hard to fucking. Just sucks. So hard to fucking get through it. Just tired. I have a great will to live just because I like life. I've always enjoyed life. Never had an issue with it. There's things I want to do and I love to do. God damn. It's kicking my ass, that's for sure. I just don't know how to stop. I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to stop worrying about it. And that's a huge fault of mine. And it doesn't help me. It's making everything 100 times worse. And I know it. You know, with my relationship with my girlfriend being so fucking wonky, you know, it's always fucking something. It's just utterly ridiculous. It's like everything's so damn complicated. That's dead. That's where all that room was. There it goes. I'll be done with this. Now, trying to back up a bunch of shit so I don't fucking lose it. Alright. Pee on a couple more minutes and then I gotta go feed the cats and do some shit. Ugh. Same thing, you know, it just, when it took me years to get to a certain point. And I saw yearly how things got better. For most of that to just go away and have to start again, that's nuts. Like, if I think back, I was probably at this point 3 years ago. That sucks. And I know it won't get easier because I can only taper so low. And these cuts are just maniacal. It's just really hard. And honestly, they weren't as hard. I could deal with them before way better. But now the cuts are acting like they're 100 times worse than they used to be. So it's like, yeah, I'm not sure what to do about it. As of right now, I'm just holding, and some things are getting better, some things are getting worse. I'm able to do some stuff some days, but it's like, I just get by. So your taper, did you think did it get harder at the end? Because everybody tapers differently. If I was like tapering beads or something, like it would be the same all the time. But mine, the way it is, it's just I don't really have a choice but to cut the way I am. And the last one was about 9%, and that's obviously in hell. The next one's like 9.3 or something. And then the one after that is like 10%. Yeah, once I'm at 1.0, then it's 10%. Then it's like 11%, 12, 13, some shit like that. I wish there was something I could actually do to make my nervous system better. Yep, that's what I go through. That's exactly it. Sounds just like me. So I guess we are similar. I wish it wouldn't take so fucking long, though. I mean, I want to be tapering. I want to get off this shit. I'll work on it. Yeah, I'll work on it. I also need better therapy, too. You were my therapist today. Appreciate it. I appreciate the support. I really do. It's hard for me not to worry. It's a miracle. It's a miracle I got this far. So at what point are you at? Sorry if you've told me. It's hard for me to remember everybody's exact story. It is. It would help if I actually got a proper prescription for my eyes, but my eyes are so fucked up. Right on. My close vision is terrible. They said my close vision is like a 70-year-old. That's probably from always being on a computer. And so my contacts are like kind of good for far and kind of good for close. So it's always a little fucked up. But what I would like is some perfect contacts for farther vision. And get something better for my close. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, it's one of the worst things you can do. Seriously. And it's not just because drinking, drinking is bad. Care about that. It's just that hits that fucking receptor, and there's just no way to heal like that. It's like me being on Remeron, even though this is way different. It's like it's just almost impossible to heal my nervous system while being on a drug that I should have never been put on. Yeah, I could have. No good. All right, I'm cutting out of here. 1 minute. You're right. I mean, seriously, after benzos, the fact that I'm alive and didn't kill myself. The thing is, I didn't have the depression right after because I got on a high dose of Remeron right away. And I'm only assuming that I didn't have the depression because I was. And now I get major depression, probably because I'm on a low dose of Remeron. But talk about me being scared now. I was so fucking terrified then. Holy shit. Yeah, I was basically cold turkey. The doctor took me off of it. The psychiatrist took me off of it. It's like I was on Xanax, and then he transferred me to Klonopin, thinking that would make a difference. He's such an idiot. And then right after that, I tapered it for 2 weeks. In other words, I cold turkeyed it. And it was absolute fucking death, torture. Oh my god. But there's some things I have now that I didn't have then. There's some mental stuff that I've got going now that I didn't have then. So it's probably Remeron damage, nervous system damage. But yeah, we'll try to come up with some positive shit. Maybe I'll try to write some stuff down the next time you come on. I'll make a video and talk about positive shit. I've told myself I was going to do that more, but it's hard. So. Alright, I'm off. Thanks for chatting. I'm hoping the chat stays up for the replay for the video when it's recorded. So we'll see, but I'm still learning this software side. It's a good idea. It's good to do. Get working on that video, your first intro video. Definitely let me know when it's up. All right, I'm definitely on a delay from seeing your chat messages, so I will be off by the time the next one pops in. So hold on. Yeah, Glenn, seizures are pretty rare. I mean, I didn't have any, and I should have had them. I felt like I was going to have seizures for months. And once in a while, I still have that feeling where I'm like, if I have a seizure, fuck it, But it was like, holy shit. It was one of the scary things when I got pulled off of benzos. But usually it's within the first few days. And honestly, I would just watch yourself for a couple weeks and just lay low. But yeah, you've done 2 weeks and no seizures. Yeah, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. The odds are really slim. It's really rare that people have like major seizures and stuff like that. Yeah, cold turkey is brutal. It is not something you normally want to do, but yeah, that's about right. What you're feeling is totally normal. But like he said, things do always get better. I've realized every time I fuck up my medication, usually it does feel better. But yeah, Glenn, anytime I'm on, you want to talk. Sorry, I'm cutting you off, a little early, but I've been on for a little while, so I'm going to get out of here, go feed the cats. Um, don't overdo it on a cold turkey. That's all I'm saying. Don't be a fucking hero because you don't want you to put your body through that. It's already been through enough. I've seen a lot of people get it illegally. It is what it is, You take care, Glenn. Everybody who was on chat today. You all have a great night.